Welcome to Classic Gamer 74. I'm your host, Anthony Gamer, and this is my friend Larry.
Hi everyone, it's me, Larry the Lion.
And today this is a reshoot of our original episode about children's and learning games, part 1. Now the reason we're reshooting the video is I just was not very happy in how things turned out. I thought it should have been a lot better. Excuse me. And my wife had noticed some things in it that I hadn't seen, and so had Larry's wife.
Yeah, like, mostly the fact is I wasn't in it.
Well, you were in it briefly.
Yeah, but, she wanted me to be in it longer.
Anyway, so we're going to reshoot that episode right now, so you ready to get started?
Yep, ready when you are.
Okay, so I'm going to go get the finger puppets, and we'll go ahead and get started.
Finger puppets?
Yeah, the Sesame Street finger puppets I used in the original episode.
That's gonna be a problem.
How come?
Well, remember last week, when Lillian, me, and the kids came over?
Yeah.
And you guys don't really have a lot of little kids' toys?
Well, no, my daughter's, 13, and we don't have a lot of little kids come over here, so we don't have little kids' toys.
Well, I was looking through some of your stuff downstairs, and I found the finger puppets, and I let my son play with them.
Okay, that's fine. Wait a minute, which son?
Trey.
You let Trey, the kid that chews on everything, play with my finger puppets?
Yeah.
Is there anything left of them?
No.
Okay. Well, looks like it's just you and me then.
Yeah, it looks like it's just you and me.
In 1983, Atari entered into a partnership with the Children's Television Workshop, or as they called themselves at the time, the Children's Computer Workshop, to create some educational games. Now, they also created this controller called the Kids Controller, which was very similar to the keyboard controller that had been used in earlier educational games created by Atari. Except for this one was much bigger and more durable for little hands. The games that were going to be created in this partnership were going to be top-of-the-line games, those of which had never been seen up to that point for the Atari 2600. The sprites were going to be amazingly outstanding.
I like that, amazingly outstanding.
Yeah, I kind of liked it too. And the graphics were going to be top of the line. So let's take a look at these games that were created between the partnerships of Atari and the Children's Computer Workshop. The first game we're going to discuss today is Alpha Beam with Ernie. It was programmed by Michael Callahan, and Preston Stewart did the graphics. Each of these games was to have their own overlay that would go over the kid's controller, similar to that of the Intellivision controller. Alright, in Alpha Beam with Ernie, your focus is on letter recognition. You have uppercase letters, lowercase letters, and you can focus on not only one letter at a time, but you can also focus on the whole alphabet if you want. You grab the letters from above the spaceship and put them in the correct slot, matching them up with the letters on the side of the ship. And when you're done, you get some pretty cool animation. Next up, we have Big Bird's Egg Catch from 1983, programmed by Christopher Amerzu. Here's a look at the overlay for this game. The focus of this game is trying to catch the egg that is dropped down a slot by the chicken that lays it. Now, it starts off pretty easy as you have two different chickens dropping the eggs, but as the levels progress, it can get much more difficult as you will have multiple chickens dropping multiple eggs. The focus of this game is on anticipation, also fine and gross motor skills. So let's take a quick look at the first level.
Yeah, this first one, you're pretty much just catching the eggs as they fall. You're not really anticipating too much, but it's pretty easy to figure out, as the eggs drop, to move Big Bird underneath them. In the other levels, you gotta really actually move him and get right under him. It can get kind of challenging after a while. Speaking of which, this game's making me hungry. I'll be right back.
Okay, then. Next up, we have Oscar's Trash Race, programmed by Christopher Amarzu and Bruce Williams and Preston Stewart. As you can see from the overlay, this game has a little bit more to it than the other ones. In this game, you are trying to match the number on the trash can with the correct number of pieces of garbage that the garbage man drops on the ground. You go down and pick them up and bring it back. In higher levels, you actually have to race against his worm friend Slimy and jump over objects such as puddles. Let's check out the first level and give you a taste of what this game was like.
Hey, by the way, you didn't have any eggs in the kitchen.
Oh no, we haven't gotten to the store yet.
Okay, anyway, so you're counting the pieces of trash. You have 5 broken telephones. Now pick the correct number. Oh, there you are, number 5. Go down there and pick them up and bring them back.
Next up, also from 1983, we have Cookie Monster Munch, programmed by Gary Stark. Originally, this game was going to be about Grover, but I guess they decided it made more sense to have Cookie Monster eat the cookies.
Yeah, it sure did.
Grover would eventually get his own game, sort of.
What do you mean, sort of?
Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. So let's check out Cookie Monster Munch. As you can see from the overlay, this is another moving game, I guess you could call it for lack of a better term. As your Cookie Monster, walking around in a maze, picking up the cookies and bringing them back to the cookie jar. With each new level, the maze gets more and more difficult, and the number of cookies goes up by 1 with each new round. So let's check it out.
Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. You see the cookies are way on that last row there, and there's 2 of them, so go ahead and grab them. Hey, what are you doing?
I was trying to grab the other cookie.
No, you gotta do it one at a time.
Oh, okay.
And then you get some pretty cool animation once you take both the cookies back to the cookie jar.
Unfortunately, because of the video game crash of 83 and 84, among other reasons, neither the kids' controller nor these preschool games actually were a big hit. 3 more games had been planned after these games that were going to be released in 1984. Unfortunately, by that time, the relationship between the Children's Computer Workshop and Atari had ended. Therefore, these 3 games would not be released. These 3 games, 2 of them were close to being finished, one more than the other one, and the 3rd game, which was going to be another counting game with the count, as far as anyone knows, never got past the planning stage. However, there may be a ROM of it out there somewhere that is yet to be discovered. The first of these prototypes that I'm going to discuss is Grover's Music Maker, which was programmed by Stephen Keith and Laura Scholl. The focus of this game is on music. In the first part of the game, you are using the kids' controller to create music, and Grover dances to it. In the second part of the game, you have a long list of songs that range from the letter A down to T. They didn't get any further than T. And when you play the song that is with each assigned letter, you try to guess what the song is. Now, we're doing letter D, and so the song is Over the River and Through the Woods. For a complete list of the songs available in this prototype, check out my Facebook page, and you can see the long list of songs that are available and see if you recognize some of them. And the final game on this list today is called Monster Size. It's really kind of unclear what this game is supposed to be about. So far, the only thing you can do is shine this light on these little monsters and then kind of change what they do in exercising. You can make their arms do things, their eyes blink, and their feet. Pretty much all you're doing is kind of customizing their workout. I'm sure there were more plans for this game, and hopefully more details will become available as time goes on.
Brings us to the end of today's episode of Classic Gamer 74. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give us a great big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already.
Also, if you can think of any other children's or learning games that were not covered in this video or in part 2, let us know in the comments section below. It doesn't matter what platform they were on, whether it be Atari and television, computer, whatever. We'd like to know about it. And who knows, it might become the subject of a later video.
Well, I have to say, that turned out a lot better than the original.
I agree.
We do great work together.
We sure do.
One more thing.
What's that?
Your wife told me to give the finger puppets to Trey.
It figures. Oh well, this is Anthony Gamer.
And I'm Larry the Lion.
And we will see you guys in the next episode. Until then, have yourselves a great day. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I'm still going to get you for that.
No, you're not.